Most people, when they try and lose weight or go on a diet, they focus solely on cutting food. Like, what types of food can I not eat? Can I not have cake? Can I not have bread? Can I not have sugar? Or all these types of different foods, that's what they put their focus on. Now, the reasons why I like cutting food, and I think that it's very beneficial, is because when you decide to cut a certain food out of your diet, that's it. There is no if, buts, when. There's no judging and tricks of how you can consume it, because you've made a commitment to not eat it, and that is it. You're not going to eat it. The only issue with this is that you never really learn how to control yourself when it comes to food. So what I mean by that is very simple, is that the day you slip up, which can happen, is the day you'll think to yourself, to hell with all of this, man. I can't do this dieting. I just can't not have the cake in my diet. I need to have it. And when that happens, is that you end up eating all the cake, because you never learned how to control yourself when it comes to your favorite food, your favorite snacks. Also, another issue that I have with actually cutting out foods and focusing on the foods that you cannot have is that when we think of something, we solely focus all our attention on that, and we tend to see it everywhere. Did you notice that when you bought the car that you're currently driving at the moment, you all of a sudden saw that car everywhere, right? This happens the whole time. For example, I have a Nissan Rogue. Before I bought that car, I didn't see any of them on the road. And now that I actually drive a Nissan Rogue, I see it everywhere. It's like everyone has the same damn car as I have. What happened? All of a sudden, many people decided to buy the Rogue just because I did? Well, I'd like to think that I'm a trendsetter, but that's not the case. The thing is before I had the Rogue, in my head, in my brain, the Rogue is irrelevant. So I didn't really pay much attention to it before I had it. But now that I own one, it's very relevant to me because it's mine. It triggers in the brain, and you notice everything, and you notice it everywhere. And this is the issue with cutting out foods. Because now that you're focused on you're not allowed to have this food, when you walk into a room or into a party, what tends to happen is that you notice all the things that you cannot have. And now you're down to willpower, the battle of willpower, which is such a hard battle. You know, how long do you think you're going to actually last at winning when it comes to your will? Most people give up. And these are the very big issues that I have with cutting out foods. The other option is learning how to control yourself when it comes to food, learning portion control, portion size, and building up a good relationship with foods. The issue with this is that there's a very big leeway. You know, there's no set in stone, this is what you're having and that is it. Although we can set up strategies like that, but for most people, it doesn't work this way. You know, you can cheat here and you say, I didn't really have that, and it didn't really count over here. And before you know it, you end up eating everything and not really working on the control. Now, this obviously isn't an issue with learning how to control yourself. This is an issue with you as a person and the mindset that you're trying to cut corners. But this allows you to cut the corners, as opposed to when you decide to cut out foods completely, there is no cutting corners. That's the big issue that I have with actually learning how to have a relationship with food. But the good thing about this is that there isn't really that temptation that you need to have the food, because you can have it, but you need to have it with control. There is also the benefit of having a good relationship with food. So this is the lifestyle that you're going to lead. So the day that it comes where you lose track or you fall off the bandwagon, it's okay, because you've built that habit of having a good relationship with food. Now, which one is better for you? Is it ideal for you to have cutting out foods and getting rid of them all? Or is it ideal for you to learn how to control yourself when it comes to foods? Now, the answer to this is very unique to each and every single individual. But for 80% of the world, for 80% of the people on diets, I would highly recommend that you learn how to have a good relationship with food rather than cutting out foods alone. Because when you learn how to have a relationship with foods, this is something that can stick with you. This is a good habit, and this is a lifestyle that can actually lead you to true success and the body transformation that you want and the results to keep them for the rest of your life.